Hi everybody, welcome. Many of you have requested a video going into a little more detail about astrology and health, because I recently did a live stream spontaneously about this. So I'm going to go into a little more detail because I think that the cycles of the moon and your physical health and well-being are very connected. And a lot of this is already scientifically proven. It's not something that astrologers are imagining. And I do think it's time, as much as astrology is now globally acknowledged, it's still somewhat ridiculed. There are many who say, oh, what a load of nonsense, I don't believe in the stars, I don't believe in these things. Well, I'm going to be doing a series of videos. This is just the start here. That will hopefully encourage you to take astrology a little more seriously. Yes, I know there's the monthly forecast and the daily forecast and all those things. And they have some validity, there's no question that they do. But as we go into the depths of astrology, I'm hoping that you're going to begin to see what a magical, miraculous adventure it is, and how, with astrology, you'll be able to put together some of the questions in your life and find some really amazing answers. I've been doing astrology for more than 40 years now. It's still a wonderful journey of self-discovery and discovery about our world and one another. So here goes. That was a long introduction. Here's the shorter introduction in case I decide to edit that bit out. Welcome. I'm doing a video all about the moon and your physical well-being and health. The moon. The moon reflects rhythms of energy. Your moon sign is a very sensitive place in your chart. The moon rules your emotions. The child within you, the small little one, the little one that says, oh, I don't want this. Get out of my way, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty. It's the needy part. It's the needy part of you that comes into this world. Because without somebody taking care of you and feeding you and clothing you, chances are you're not going to survive for very long. So it's that part that needs something. So this lunar sign in your chart, it's very valuable to find out where your moon is. That's the first thing to say. Because your moon, you get a moon return every 28 days. 29 days actually. 28 to 29 days. Your moon comes back to the place it was when you were born. So that's your moon day, not your sun day, which is your sun birthday, when the sun comes back to the place you were born. Once a year, once a month, you get a moon birthday, if you like. And sometimes the new moon or the full moon will fall close to your birthday, and then it's a very significant year or few months ahead for you. So knowing where your moon is supremely important, because the moon changes sign approximately every 2.5 days. Much more sensitive than the sun, which changes sign approximately every 30 days. And therefore, the cycles of the moon and your physical well-being can be tracked. We look at the full moon. It's well known that this is a time when there are more accidents on the roads, when there is more bleeding, when there are more emergencies coming into surgery, when more police need to be on the streets. This is all, if you like, more general knowledge. But now, let's look at what Hippocrates said. I love this quote. Anybody who practices medicine without taking into account the positions of the stars is a fool. So at the time of Hippocrates, who is supposedly the father of modern medicine, although maybe you wouldn't know it, he advocated that it was important for a physician to study astronomy and astrology. And I love that I live in Greece now, because I'm learning Greek with more of a solid basis now. I certainly don't speak fluently, but I'm learning that so much comes from the Greek, and astronomy coming from astronomia, the naming of the stars, and astrology coming from astrologos, which is the word of the stars, or the word of God, you could even interpret it as some do. Not saying I do, but we are inextricably connected to the planets or stars around us. So, the tides, the weather, when to have surgery, when to plant crops, even down to when to cut your nails and when to cut your hair. There are better times and times that are less favourable. There are times, why is it? There are times when certain surgeries go really well, and then there can be a spate where there are really difficult surgeries with much longer healing periods. Why? Much of it can be connected to the cycles of the moon. Festivals. Festivals, many of them are connected, or holy days, with the cycles of the moon, the new moon, the full moon. The ancients knew a thing or two, they really did. So now let's look at the phases of the moon. So every couple of weeks I speak to you about the new moon, I tell you where it is, which sign it's in, what's favourable, what is less favourable, and I also speak to you about the full moon. And these are two significant points in the month. It's a good time during the new, and the energy is potent during these times. So the new moon is potent for new beginnings. It's just a slither of a moon, yeah, you can hardly see it often. So it's an opportunity for a blank canvas, something new. And the same with the full moon, it's at its brightest, and then it's going to start to wane. So again, it's a strong energy. So at the new moon and the full moon, these are often good points to actually eat a little less. Sometimes people fast at this time, or just liquids, or just smoothies, or just veggies, or just fruit. But it's a good time just to put less load on your digestive system, generally at these pivotal times. And you might save yourself infections or little ups and downs during the other parts of the month. And the full moon is an opportunity for making change, for seeing something as it really is. It's often when something can come to a head. It's like, whoa, it's full now. There's no way I can't see it anymore. Yes, in a new moon you might not see so clearly, but in a full moon will light your path. If you're walking in a very dark forest, you'll be able to see what might be under your feet, even if you might not want to see it. And that is very significant at the time of a full moon, because sometimes it might not be what you want to see. It could be a time to end a relationship, to let go. So then we look at two significant periods. We've got a waxing moon, and I always think of waxing as the expanding moon. So it's the new moon going towards the full moon. So it's growing and getting bigger. And then we've got the waning moon, which is from its fullest point and getting smaller. So what are the key things to do during the waxing moon It's a wonderful time for strengthening the body. It's a really good time for building it up, so it's good for absorption of vitamins, of minerals. It is a time, not the best time for losing weight. Very often you can eat the same amount of food and put on weight during a waxing moon. It's not the best time to start a diet or anything like that, but it's a good time for rebuilding yourself, whatever way you can do that. It's not the best time for surgery. I tested this myself by trial and error, really. I couldn't understand why one surgery for the extraction of a tooth went very well and the other went very badly. And then I looked at my diary and I saw that I had one which I had extracted during a waxing moon, and the healing period was very long. There was a lot of pain and a lot of swelling. So it was not the best time to have it. So it's a time when the body retains water. It can be time when you get more swelling in the ankles and the body, and that's what happens with the food as well. So it's absorbing things. So when we get to the waning moon, this is the best time for detoxifying, for losing weight, for having surgery. There's less bleeding, less pain, the healing process is quicker, and you're less likely to have scarring or permanent scarring. Scars heal more quickly. So this, from the full moon, past the full moon, get past the full moon, and then detox. Brilliant during the waning moon, and also good for having various surgeries, which I found out that the surgery that went really well for the extraction I had during a waning moon. There was hardly any pain, virtually no bleeding, and within a couple of days I felt great. So that's the overall tips for those two-week periods every month. So now let's look at the various signs and which parts of the body they rule. Astrology for me, it's the one thing that puts together our physical bodies, our physicality, and all the other subjects under the sun. That's why I never grow bored with astrology, because it covers everything. Your relationships, your family, your finances, your traveling, your spiritual direction, your work, your career, your vocation, your friends, your philosophy, your religious inclination, your learning, your mind. It's got everything. And within us is everything. As above, so below, as below, so above. And that's really how I see this mirror image of the astrology, because we start out with Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, the beginning of spring, springing forward out, and then the last sign of the zodiac, Pisces. So from the top, from head to toe, and astrology covers it all. There are 12 signs of the zodiac. There are 12 systems within the body, each one ruled by a different sign. The whole thing, you can draw everything together through numbers and astrology. 1, 2, 3, all the different numbers are all connected. The masculine, the feminine, the hot, the cold, the fire, the earth, the air, the water, all of it is encompassed within this astrology. And the more you can understand this, and that's why I'm so excited to share it with you, the more that we can become more conscious and go through this shift of consciousness, seeing how we are connected and where maybe our weaker points are and how we can strengthen those and bring this whole system into a full alignment. It's exciting. So, Aries, head first, ruling the head, the brain, everything really up until the bottom of the nose is ruled by Aries. The eyes, and it's the thinking part of you actually. Aries, Mercury in esoteric astrology is a very high planet because Mercury is the hermaphrodite, neither feminine nor masculine, androgynous. And when you get to these highest levels, then you go beyond that which is purely physical. This is the part of us that connects us to the heavens, to the stars. So Aries, all you really need to know is Aries rules the head, the brain, this top part. Then we've got Taurus. And we're moving down the body here, right? So Aries number 1, the first sign, 1, indivisible, the head. We only have one head. Yeah? We come to duplicates, signs with 2, and they're significant as well, reflecting the body. So here we go with Taurus. Taurus, the throat, the neck, the mouth. That's why Taurus ruling very often food and eating, the senses. Yes, so many of the senses are here, the tasting, touching food, hearing, the ears, the hearing. This part of this is ruled by Taurus. There are more specific parts and those get narrowed down. And that's where you get into real professionals who are medical astrologers who've studied this for years. It's a very specialized field. I am not a medical astrologer. I'm interested in this, but it is not my speciality. If somebody needs important health information that's specific, I always send them off to a medical astrologer. I can do general aspects, but not in depth. So I'm sharing you the generalities here, and it's up to you to explore more if you're interested. So Taurus here, this part of the body, and each one has a different color. Aries red, Taurus blue, the different chakras. It's interesting, red, and then of course we've got the magenta, the mixture of the red and the blue moving upwards. It's powerful stuff, but I'm just trying to stay as focused as I can and share my excitement in little snippets that will show you how important and relevant astrology really is. Taurus. Then we've got, and Taurus is a slower sign. It's slower, it's the bull. Aries is the ram, off, going, the horns. The bull, it's more stable, it's the fixed energy. That's the throat, and it would rule singing, and the voice is all Taurus. Then we get onto Gemini. And Gemini, 2 of them. And Gemini, the twins. We've got 2 hands. It rules the hands, the arms, the lungs, everything that is in 2s in this area of the breathing. Everything to do with your breathing has to do with Gemini. That's why, again, to do with speaking. You see that they do overlap somewhat. And they're close, so they do overlap. But Mercury ruled, and to do with communications. And how do you communicate? Well, through gesticulating with both your hands usually, with your arms, and through speaking and using your lungs. So that's Gemini, including learning and studying. Isn't this exciting? And then we've got Cancer. Cancer ruling the stomach and the breasts. And if you look here, this glyph is supposed to be of the breasts. To me, I look at it as somebody rocking a child. Yes, taking care of you. It's that nurturing energy. And here we get this water vibration, the sensitivity, the intuition. To me, this is very much, here you can see two faces coming together. Two faces almost kissing, being in a cocoon. This kind of a cocoon feeling. So anything connected with Cancer, that's why Cancerians often like cooking and anything to do with food again. Cancer and Taurus are your foodie signs, very much. And Cancer as well has everything to do with listening to this whole area of the body. Yes, this gut area as well would be connected with Cancer. Then we've got Leo. Leo, the heart energy. Yes, this sunshine that comes from the heart. And the heart is known to have a much greater electromagnetic field than in fact the brain does, as far as scientists are showing at this time. Maybe that's not true, we don't quite know, but this is just what seems to be shown. So we've got this heart energy at the time of Leo. So if you've got a Leo moon, chances are heart energy is really big with you. Very often there's a generosity of spirit, a generous feeling wanting to come from that heart energy. Then we've got Virgo ruling the digestive system. Virgos can be quite nervy sometimes, and the digestive system has to pick out the foods that are good for you, has to really work at breaking things down. That's what Virgo does. Leo's the big gesture, and then Virgo gets to work. That's why Virgo rules work. Can you see how everything is so interrelated? And then we've got Libra. Libra, the midpoint, the beginning of the second half of the zodiac. So we've gone from 1 to 2. This is where we're balancing the scales. This is the midpoint of the body. It all fits together, you'll see. And here Libra ruling the kidneys. Libra, 2 signs here, and the kidneys certainly balance the body. Also the lower back ruled by Libra as well. This sense of balancing, of justice, of always trying to get things in a perfect equilibrium. And that's really what the kidneys are doing in the body. So this is just, again, 2. This balancing of the 2 energy. And this also within us is the 1 and the 2. The feminine and the masculine. We may come in as a particular form, but nonetheless we've got bits inside us of all of it. Just like you've got bits inside your chart of every single sign. Only some signs are going to be more pronounced than others. And that's why your astrology chart is your fingerprint. It's like your unique barcode, it's been called. It's your uniqueness. And that's why only you can really know what's right for you. It's a real journey of self-discovery. And that's why I'm trying to empower by showing you the astrology, so that you can use this and see this around you in your life. So moving from 1s to 2s. 1 heart, 2 lungs. 1 brain, 2 kidneys. Yeah, we've got this whole masculine, feminine energy going through. It goes through with the signs, it goes through with the houses. Each one has this vibratory field, and they've got a different vibrational frequency. That's what it's about. Then we move on to, as you notice, we're going down the body now, and we come to the sex organs. This is Scorpio. Everything that is deep and penetrating and hidden. The womb, the ovaries, everything that's creates life and can transform life and can be reborn. So here is a birth. This is this Mars energy. And here again we've got a sense of being able to be reborn out of the darkness on the psychological level, also on the physical level, and again a rulership by Mars. Mars energies. There are no accidents in this whole zodiac, and the more I study it, the more aha moments I have. And I'm having that now with you quite a lot in this, what I feel is a co-creation that is being pulled out from me in this excitement of this energy. And we've got the Venus ruled energies. Taurus, Venus ruled. The one throat, one neck, one voice, and then Libra, the two, the one, the two, again Venus ruled. The feminine, the masculine sign. This is a masculine sign, this is a feminine sign. So, and the numbers all relate to masculine and feminine. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. All those are the odd numbers are the masculine, and the even numbers are the feminine, the twos. A woman has the child, creates the two. And then we go on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter, ruling the hips, the thighs, the pivotal point of the body. That's why it's the horse, the archer, the part centaur, the part shooting his arrows out into the heavens. So the hips here, ruled by Sagittarius. Also by Sagittarius, the liver, the largest organ in the body. There are systems that will have different placements for some of these organs. But ruler Jupiter, the planet, rules the liver because it's the biggest organ and the biggest planet. Capricorn, Saturn, old man Saturn, my bones, my teeth, my skeleton. It's where you get arthritis and all this old age, this hunching over, is very Capricorn energy. Capricorn ruling the structure of the body. Capricorn, Saturn ruling form. Physical matter is ruled by Saturn. That's why Saturn is such an important planet. It's where we learn our lessons. It's where we bump up against reality with those bones and chewing. And a lot of this, of course, is also allegorical information. Yes, what are you chewing on? So that's Capricorn. Then we go into Aquarius. And Aquarius has to do with the circulatory system, the nervous system as a whole, and the lower legs. But very much here the circulation, yeah? When you've got cold feet, your circulation's not working very well. So it's this Aquarian energy that has a lot to do with the nervous impulses of the body and ruled by Uranus and also Saturn. But I'll go into more detail in that in a different video. It doesn't quite belong here. So that's Aquarius. And then finally, we've got this last sign of the zodiac. And if you like, the last sign of the zodiac, containing everything within it, all of the rest, which is the reflexology. Because in reflexology, it's showing different systems and it covers every part of the physical body is found and can be stimulated from the feet. So, there you have a little run through of the parts of the body and how they relate to the astrological signs. One important thing I need to share with you about surgeries. So if you're going to have a surgery, ideally, and you can choose it, All right? If you cannot choose it and it is an emergency situation and an appendix is about to burst, or a doctor that you trust is suggesting an emergency surgery, this has a different rulership. This is a karmic thing. This is different. This is outside of what I'm talking. I'm talking about elective surgery. If it's emergency, then you're under different laws of the universe here, and you just need to trust your higher self that you are being taken care of the best possible people, and your own body's intelligence knows how to heal. But if you can choose, ideally, try not to do it when Mars is retrograde. Mars rules surgeons and sharp instruments like scalpels. Try not to do it during a waxing moon when the moon is getting bigger, if you can. And try also not to do it when whichever body part is being operated on is in that sign. So if you're having an operation on your tonsils, try to avoid Taurus sun time and when the moon is in Taurus. If you're having some kind of surgery on your eyes or your head, try to avoid Aries time. If it's the heart, Leo, avoid the Leo time. If it's the feet, avoid Pisces, sun and moon times. Now, if you are going to do something strengthening that is not surgery, not taking something out of the body or cutting something, then it's wonderful to have a reflexology treatment. It's wonderful to do some chiropractic or osteopathic treatments when the moon is in Libra, or anything for your kidneys and flushing them out. It's wonderful to do a head massage when the moon is in Aries. So you can have good times for doing things. And this is just, I hope for you, if you get yourself a lunar calendar, a wonderful way of being able to start to dance to the rhythms of the moon. Thank you very much for listening. Bye for now.